And we're up putting a toolkit together for Ian. Ian, this is for you, buddy. We focus good enough? More or less. Yeah. So, how's everybody doing? For those people that are watching later, going to kind of be a bit of a bore tonight. It's really just going to package this up for Ian and then chat a little bit here. See what you guys are up to. Sorry about earlier. My battery went dead. So let's bring it up here on the other phone so we can see what's going on. And that way I can read chat. Hey, Fred. Welcome. Mainly just chatting tonight. Hey, Fred. Welcome. Sorry about that. And Ken showed up. Good. So all we're going to do here, this kit's for Ian. Deeper a little bit. I got my power inverter working. Finally. Hey, Steve. Power inverter's working, finally. I did not know that you need to have good batteries hooked up in order for that darn thing to work. I didn't know that. Hey, Roadrunner. Just chatting and hanging out tonight. Gonna package this up for Ian. Just deburring it. That's one really. I would highly suggest you double, triple, quadruple check. Deburring this. Clean it and all that stuff before you use it. Yeah, so earlier, my silly battery died. That was kind of cruddy. Right in the middle of me waxing eloquent about something. Oh well. But I have my power inverter running, which is my battery backup for the solar pump mainly, but also the boiler and all the electronics and whatnot. So I have that battery backup now. You like the dirt shaker? Isn't that cool? I didn't know how well or poorly or that was going to work. You know, I really just didn't know how that was going to turn out. But for what I do, I think it turned out amazing. Like it's great. Not perfect. Not it's one of those things that can just be chronically kind of tweaked. But overall, it was really, really good. For what it does, for how big it is, all that stuff, it's just I'm able to sift stuff so much faster, get the rock out of the dirt, separate the rock, and the dirt's just really nice, and I can put the dirt right back in the post holes as clean dirt with no rock. The next time I go back and do posts, I can do it with a shovel instead of needing a backhoe. You know, Connecticut's kind of like that. There's just so much rock in everything. It makes it impossible to do anything without a backhoe. So, you need to start sifting. See, I think basically when you build a house, all the dirt on the property, the top 3 feet of it needs to be sifted. Landscape sifted, all that stuff before anything happens. But since nobody does that, lost one. What's going on? You lost again? So yeah, so that happened today. Flywheel puller, cool. That would work for me. A fine day if you got it to work. Oh, super easy, yeah. My dad loved his. Now he runs the 350s that I maintain for him. Your Super Easy is your favorite, or the 350? I believe either. Some people really like their Super Easies. Yeah, I don't really get it, but you know that's fine. Everybody has their favorites. See what they like. So Ian, here you go. Flywheel side. Um, Tim, what's going on, man? Welcome. Lathes, I think, are probably a dime a dozen. You know, there's got to be people giving them away practically. Just got to look for one that's not all worn out. Got reasonable tooling with it. Something that you can also get parts for today. All that stuff. Hey, Leonard, you made it. What's the time there, Leonard? Let's see, so pretty basic. See, if I was to have a lathe, I would need one that would be able to do metric threads. Even if it was all manual, I would still want one that would be able to do metric threads. Just because I tend to work on metric stuff. I don't have a lathe. I don't know if I will end up getting one at any point. Crossfeed would be nice. Auto crossfeed would be nice. So Ian, here's your kit. Flywheel side. Uh, Small sleeve, large sleeve. 1, 2, 3. Clutch side. M10, M12, and F14. Nuts and washers and handles. Hot tip on the sleeves. Use large sleeve for large bearings. Use small sleeve for smaller bearings. 6203 and larger. Get the large sleeve. Mainly 6203. If your flywheel side bearing is 6203, use the large sleeve, not the small one. Otherwise, you'll splay out your small sleeve. People have done that, so don't do that. So, also the other hot tip for a toolkit: make sure when you're doing the crankcase, you position the bearings in the cases first, however you want. Then you grab this toolkit. Ken, I have nowhere to put it. I have nowhere to put it. I'd love to have a lathe, but I don't have any proper space for it. So for right now, it's not happening. Someday. This is going to go in a postal package here, like I usually do. And don't forget the sticker. Always a sticker. Audio sticker. And I highly encourage people to reuse these packages. I like them a lot. These priority mail packages. I've sold like 250 kits. I don't think they've lost one yet. The Postal Service has lost plenty of packages coming to me, but I don't think they've lost one of these yet going to anybody. The only issue I had early on, I wasn't using these envelopes, I was using the paper ones, and I think somebody had some spill all over the place, but awesome. So how are you setting squish? I have the Bridgeport, or well, my parents have a lathe and a Bridgeport, so I don't usually use the lathe to set squish. I usually cut the actual crankcase down, and there are plenty of videos on that. Ian, here's your package. It'll go out probably Tuesday because I think Monday's Veterans Day. What else? What do I need to do tonight? Still waiting on parts for that Poulan 2150. Poulan, whatever. Poulan. I don't even know if the heads have gotten down to North Carolina yet. I've got a 350 here to clean up, but not in the mood tonight. More in the mood to chat with you guys. If you visit, you will get a sticker, Ken. Yes. Monday, wear red. Everyone deployed. Thanks for the reminder, Ken. I will be in scrubs Monday, so blue it is, but thank you for the reminder. Sorry, I'm just getting rid of some emails here. So anybody have anything else? Any questions, comments? Yeah, Lost won the what is it? The setting squish thing. It really depends on what I'm doing, but for the most part, I will actually cut crankcases preferentially because it's actually easier for me to set up a crankcase in the Bridgeport than it is for me to set up a a cylinder head on the mill. So, or on the lathe, excuse me. So you need a mandrel and everything like that to set up the cylinder head on the lathe, and I just it takes time to do that, and unfortunately, I just don't. I'm just not there, you know. It would also be better if I had a bit of a bigger lathe and this, that, the other thing. So there's all kinds of other reasons um, that I don't do lots of cylinder head machining, at least not of the base. Another reason can be that if you thin the bases out too much, you crack ears off. Well, the next build it was supposed to be that 288 or 181 or whatever. I'm still waiting on from Chris. Chris Kringle there was supposed to send me a 181 because the 288 that he sent me was half shot. It was basically half useless. So it almost wasn't even though it was like sort of running or might have ran, it was not a not really even a part saw. So I will build that. The other thing to build is the 372. I gotta get that head from Mike. Once I get the head back from Mike, then I can or figure out something with it. I don't know. Then I can build that 372 back up. Uh, Obviously I built the uh, dirt shaker, screen sifter, whatever you want to call it. So that's what I built most recently, and I'm still working on the fence, which I'll probably work on tomorrow if the weather's good enough. And then I also worked on the power inverter today, among other things. So I've got lots going. True ahead with a flag cutter, use road children. You can do that, yeah. Get things true to the bore, and get the bore straight up and down. And what once you have, if you're doing it on the Bridgeport, once you have the cylinder head straight up and down, and the bore is straight, then you can cut your base whatever you like. Ken, I don't even know if the head got to North Carolina yet. I haven't even looked. OEM 372 piston. Yeah, they're only $150 for a brand new piston cylinder. 15 what? About 100. It should be about $150 for the 115. That's pretty cheap, assuming it's new. Or is that dealer cost? For us, yeah, for 100, for us average folks, they're $150 for the kit. Yeah, yeah, it's a great deal for an OEM head. That's a great deal. Even $150 is a great deal, I think. Killer, very nice. Harvey and Bayou. Who's Harvey and Bayou? Porting like crazy lately. Yep, Mall is the OEM, the main OEM maker of those. So yeah, I don't have a whole. Oh man, Fred could. I don't have a whole lot for you guys tonight, so I'm kind of relying on you guys to direct things here. Otherwise, I'll just go lay down because I'm tired. Um, Fred cut 2 tanks of gas yesterday. Went back truckload. Oh, Harvey is Iron Horse. Okay, thanks, Dan. Yeah, at this point, I'm I'm coming here mainly to chat with you guys and answer questions. I don't have lots and lots of stuff to do that would interest you guys. Like I said, I'm working on the fence. I'm, um, you know, working outside on the dirt sifter, and if I can share that with you, I will. Um, but there's not a lot of really interesting projects. And the other thing that kind of messes me up is the messes me up is that if I take this silly phone outside, I may or may not get a good signal, and then putting up vids is not necessarily the best. So hopefully you guys will forgive me for that. Harvey and Kinsey. Who's texting me? Kinsey is by you. Okay. Mr. McCullough, yeah. Again, it's something else that those people that are that type of, that's their thing. So that good for them. Yeah, McCullough pulling, yeah, sure. Not really. Just ends up being not really my thing, but whatever. James said earlier that he didn't get the notification until like 13 minutes into the vid. Yeah, we're missing Mega and just all kinds of people actually. Craig, Tim, James. Where is everybody? I don't know. Got my kids screaming upstairs. Get your great. No, I don't. I'm still wait. I thought I was going to get all kinds of parts today. I didn't. Shipping's weird. I got. I ordered batteries for my battery backup. I ordered four 12-volt deep cycle 110 amp hour sealed lead acid batteries, and I ordered those the other day, and three of them showed up today. Ken Lee, new sub, was wondering what the best case splitter is. Okay. That's pretty easy. Where'd my splitter go? There it is. It's over there. Ever change a 345 into a 350? Yeah, sure, you can. You can do all kinds. I think it's a very versatile chassis. I think because it's the same crankcase. It's either way. It's the same crankcase. So I don't need that. Here's a splitter. This is always a popular thing to go over, so don't mind doing it. But yeah, the 345. I think it's a one-piece head. The riser block and the head are one piece. So if you change it into a riser block, and then you're going to put a new head on it, you might as well use the 346 XP head, because that's basically the best head you'll put on there. But so this is a Husky style clamp style case splitter. And this one happens to be an aftermarket one, but the OEM ones are not that expensive. Now the difference is that this one here I have modified because the original bolt that was here had a T-handle on it and it bent. So the original piece that bent was not to my liking. So I used, this is just 5/8 threaded rod, and this tip more or less develops itself. Let's see, are we okay on the focus here? Fingers 967. How's everything? Busy. Yeah, Ken. I don't know if you can post the. No, you probably can't post the link. James usually posts the links for HL Supply. If you want to go buy something, or the best way to support the channel is to use my HL Supply link to go buy stuff. And the way to do that is to go any of my bolt for bolt videos and look down in the description, and you'll have a link to HL Supply. Just click on that. Just all you got to do is click on that link, and it'll track you for a month. If you buy something from HL Supply, then I get credit for it, and I do appreciate it. This case splitter doesn't work on everything, but it does work on quite a bit. Everybody say hi to Fingers. So it does work on quite a bit of stuff. So sometimes if things are too small, it doesn't work. If things are too big, it doesn't quite work either. So what you have to do is make... This is a really awkward type of splitter, but it does work. It's just a piece of square tube with a bunch of holes drilled here, so you can actually attach bar studs. So what you do is you just attach this to the bar studs through the big holes here. And here's your, it's just a welded nut. And I use this 5/8 piece here. Goes straight down in there. Once this is attached to bar studs, then you just press that out. And this only works obviously on the PTO side, but for the most part, that'll do just, this style will do just about any saw. And this is a very DIY-able part. You can just use some pretty heavy bar and do a couple of quick welds and you got it. There's all kinds of ways to do that. But just imagine whatever this is has to be welded, it has to be bolted to the bar studs, and then this hole has to be positioned accordingly. There's got to be some wiggle room in there, but the hole has to be positioned accordingly so you can have it right on the crankshaft. So this just pushes the crankshaft that way. Does that help, Ken? Fingers, we're just chatting here, so if you have any questions at any time, just shout them out. I have not used this in a while, but I built this originally so that I could pull my wheels off my garden tractor. So my lawn tractor, whatever you want to call it. So I used some really long pieces of I think 5/8 threaded rod to actually grab the wheels, and then I pressed in the center of the hub with this, and it pulled the wheel right off because the wheels were stuck. And then I put anti-seize on them damn things, so then I won't have to use this again. I hate using that. Well, yeah, the pullers are all pretty, and this actually is fairly easy to weld up too. I think online there's actually plans for that. Again, this happens to be just an aftermarket piece, that I modified, all you got to do is take a 5/8 tap and run it in there, and then put some 5/8 threaded rod. And then, this is a welded nut, but you can just double nut it, and it's effectively the same thing. And this works great on most of what I do. 372s, I think 346s, if you're doing those. The 272s, 262s. Oh man, Fred, 5 home lights. The thing, I understand that people like those things, but for me, what I look for is parts availability. You know, who do you use for hard to find Mac parts besides Bellhopper? BSS Small Engines. Howdy. No, it's not about no hate. It's just a matter of, um, I, it's a matter of parts availability. What stuff can you get parts readily for? That's one thing. It's also one thing that drives me crazy about the proprietary bearings. Proprietary bearings drive me nuts because it just means that it's just harder to service. You're more beholden to the companies, which is just kind of silly. That it's my opinion. It's just what I've kind of come across over the years here. No, no link. Here, Ken. Now you're moderator. Try it. Don Smith, welcome. Ken, if you want, one of my main parts guys, if I really need something, is Brian Plust. BPLUST on Arborist site. BPLUST on Arborist site. Brian Plust. He's got a lot of stuff, so he might have that what you need. $3.94, my favorite saw. I'd have to say so. I'd have to say so. I kind of go back and forth between the 394 and the 350. But if I have to pick one, it's probably 394. I'm going to try clicking on that, Ken. See what happens. Yeah, it looks right. Yeah, everybody, if you want to click on that link that Ken just posted, that'd be great. Has some other stuff, just looking for options. Yeah, that if you got the older stuff, then you really have to. I would say, Fast and Furious, try to nail things down that you can still get parts for. Um, because I think some stuff is really kind of getting bought up and disappearing. So if you have stuff you like, get a bunch of parts for it, get stuff running, you know, get a good inventory of what parts you think you might need. Um, and then hopefully I can steer you to be a little bit more like me and start hoarding only parts for certain models that you really like, you know, and stuff that you can still get. The John Strait 2094 is probably a lot like a 394, but it's really hard to get parts for, I think, if I remember right. You got the link for the bolt for bolt. Yeah, it looks right. So if any, the number one way to support my channel is basically two ways. One is buy tools like you guys saw here earlier. Um, Tonight, if anybody needs crank tools, that's basically the best way to support the channel. But if you need parts, click on that link that Ken had. It'll track you for a month. If you actually go and buy anything from HL Supply, then I get credit, and I really appreciate it. Take care, Leonard. Have a great night. Yeah, I've never actually run a 2094. I know there are guys that really, really like them. But I also know that they're having, you're really struggling to find parts for that sort of thing these days. So, not a saw I would run on a regular basis. Some guys do, but not, it wouldn't be me. It's so much like a 394 or 395 that you might as well run essentially a 394 or 395. And incidentally, Huzzle is going to come out with a 395 pretty soon. They'll have a full aftermarket 395. So basically, parts for that saw will be available infinitum, which I think is great because there'll be an aftermarket option if Husky decides to go the other direction, you know. I like it when there's options. I don't like it when there's only a single proprietary thing that you can only get from whatever dealer. I think that's stupid. I think that often OEM parts are better, and also often it doesn't matter whether you have an OEM part or not for certain things. So, Ken, does that answer your question? I just love how 394s start and just run good. And I only get a couple of cuts with one of those a day because I'm not a big guy and my endurance isn't so good. But they are fun to run. They really are. Anything else, guys? Other questions, comments? Otherwise, I'm going to call it a night here. I see the numbers of people kind of going up and down. Anybody here that I haven't given a shout out to? Mega is here. He's hiding in the shadows. Hey, Mega. If you notice, Ken's got Blue Wrench right now. Take care, Boneyard. Thanks for coming by, buddy. Yeah, it's Saturday night. Where's James? That's weird. BS Small Engines. Don't worry about it. Thanks for coming by. I do appreciate it. Ken, enjoy your weekend. You stay safe, okay? Mrs. Calabash. Hang on. What happened to James? He might be out tonight. Hopefully he's out and about. Let's see. Just texted him. Let's see if he actually shows up here. If he's just been sitting around and oh man, he's gonna be pissed. If he's out, then he's not gonna be upset. But if he didn't get a notification, he's gonna be really upset. Fingers, take care. Have a great night. Yeah, I'm just here hanging out. So if you need something, come on live and ask a question. No big deal. And if you come on live and you offer something up, that's even better. Yeah, Ken, you got me. You got me there. I'm lost. Craig here. Where's Craig? Where's Larry? Where's James? Where's Tim? Maybe something's James is okay. Fixing to do some milling work on the mill before your live stream popped up. Well, you can go out and do your mill work. I'm gonna call it a night here. I think. James, were you sitting around? Did you not get a notification? Or were you out and about? James is alive. Yeah, he's alive. Roadrunner's here. What's going on, man? Yeah, we're just hanging tonight. Trying to answer some questions. Out of date. Ah, you were out. All right. That's cool. It's cold here. It was like 21 this morning. Almost a record low. Almost a record low. Very cold. Speaking of which, I'm going to go work on the wood stove. I'm going to say goodnight to everybody and say thank you for hanging out. I do appreciate it. Kid, okay. I'm not commenting on that one. You guys have a great night. Everybody be safe. If I find something interesting, obviously I'll go live and let you know. Sorry about the battery dying earlier. That really bummed me out because I was having fun showing you guys the dirt sorter sifter screen thingy. If you guys haven't seen that video, go check it out. It's just one video back. And we will talk to you guys later. Thanks very much. Have a great evening. Mega, Ken, James. We're still missing Tim and Larry and Craig. I don't know what happened to them, but talk to you guys later. Have a great night.